Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Living Life at LifeU. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today we are joined by a lifelong member of Life University, Dr. Keith Rao. How are you doing today?
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So tell me a little bit of, I know you've been here for a while, but before that you were also a student, you're a graduate, Life University graduate,
Yes.
correct? When did you even start at Life University? When did you graduate? When did you start as a professor at the university?
I visited Life University in 1977
Okay.
as a high school senior when it was just the executive building.
Okay.
Came to DE,
Yeah.
and when it was huge, like 3,000 people. Wow. Got benefit from chiropractic care personally. Mm-hmm. Decided to come. My doc, who was not a Life alum, but invited me down. And 2 years later, excuse me, 2 years later, I was a student, 1979, graduated in 82.
Okay.
So we had a huge class, lots of changes going in terms of the school really growing at that point. And then I practiced for a number of years, joined the faculty in 1994.
Wow.
So it was during kind of the boom time, and then got involved with the student athletes in 95 and just all kinds of changes. But, you know, it's hard to even comprehend Life University then. While I was a student, we actually acquired what was the Morrell House, which is now the Tree House.
Yeah.
Or I'm forgetting Dr. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the good doctor who it's named after.
Okay.
I'll come up with it in a moment. And we helped clean up the building and pull out weeds and all this kind of stuff. So it's hard to imagine I drive by it every day, and, you know, all these years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting and fun. And also the commons, how it was before, how it is now.
Yes, I remember the old commons when they tore those down.
Yeah.
So
So you have been in the school for a while with a small break. After you joined the faculty in 94, have you stayed since?
yeah, no, I've been here ever since. They can't get rid of me yet.
I love it. I love it. And we don't want to get rid of you either.
Thank you.
Because there's so much to learn from you on a daily basis. So let's talk about that piece. You mentioned that you started working with the student athletes at the university in 95, right? Talk to me about what is it that you started working with them as what, and how has that changed?
Okay, so long journey there. Somehow I ended up adjusting a young man who is now an alumnus, and now he and his wife come to my practice all these years later, which is very fun. But he asked if I could travel with their team, which was cross country and track. He talked to Dr. Downs. Dr. Downs said yes, and you know that was the start of. And it was Dr. Downs, Dr. Randazzo, Dr. Capes, myself, Dr. Harrelson, Dr. Riccardi. There was a group of us, and we traveled. And back when athletics was exploding, and we were winning national championships right and left.
Wow.
And then we had that crazy time, and athletics went away, and I ended up at KSU because our head athletic trainer went to KSU and asked me to come up, and I'm still there now. We just left and saw a buku of folks. A buku is a wrong term.
I like it.
A lot of folks.
A bunch.
A bunch. Yes, we were very, very busy with practicum students from our sport health science program. So one of the very fun things we get to do is do that. For a number of years, up until last quarter, I directed the chiropractic care of our student athletes, and I stepped down from that position in June.
Okay.
So now I'm just in the classroom and taking students to KSU, and we have an open lab where they can come in and practice as well. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of
amazing.
fun.
And you mentioned that you're still in practice. Where's your practice
very
located?
near Kennestone Hospital.
Okay.
Very part-time, 10 hours a week, something like that. A lot of fun. Yeah, the hard part, I have people that have been coming in for 20, 30 years.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just it's a lot of family, if you will. So that's a lot of fun.
So
And I
generation.
enjoy Yeah. And sometimes here too, where you have a student who is the child of someone, or I just met the niece of one of my classmates.
Wow.
And, she wasn't even she wasn't even a thought when we were students, and now she's a chiropractic student. So
how beautiful.
Fun full circle events. The doctor who told me about chiropractic, I ended up having his daughter not long after I was here, late 90s, I'm guessing. And that was like, how cool is that? I wouldn't be here without him. And now I have a chance to help educate her. That's just mind-boggling.
Wow. Yeah. And what courses do you teach currently?
I teach only in the master's.
Okay.
So I teach, every time I say this, even though it's largely going to be listened to by Life University folk, orthokinematics and proprioception of upper body and then lower body, which basically, I'll leave that. Anyway,
we can break it down. So arthro meaning joint
movement
and movement, kinematic movement.
Movement of the joints, and proprioception, your awareness in space. And we talk about upper body. I have the distinct honor of teaching Dr. Downs' global mechanical assessment in that, and a lot of extremity adjusting and that sort of stuff. And basically just go a lot deeper than Dr. Capes and others can do in the extremity courses.
Right.
So that's a lot of fun. And then we get to apply it in the practicum and so forth. So
that's really fun.
It is a lot of fun. So I get the opportunity to not only teach it, but then help them apply
and see it in the making,
which doesn't always get to happen.
Okay.
A lot of times you have them in the classroom, but you don't get them where they're doing hands-on. So
absolutely.
Great group of students in our master's program over the years.
That's fun and exciting. Yeah. I love that.
Indeed.
I love that. So it is in the sports health science department, correct?
Yes.
And it is in the Masters of?
In the Masters of Sport Health Science.
Okay. Masters of Sport Science.
Several concentrations, one of which is the chiropractic sports science.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I primarily focus on. And then I teach sports chiropractic case management, which is basically, we just talk, what is sports chiropractic? And then I sometimes help out with the physiological therapeutics labs and then practicum.
That's awesome. So I want to ask a little bit about your experience as the director of taking care of the student athletes.
Yes.
And because that's sounds like it's such a beautiful opportunity. How would you say, what are some of those challenges that you encounter with the students, a collegiate student having to travel so often? And how does that apply?
Yeah. Balance, when people talk about balance, to me, sometimes it's like, okay, there's really no such thing as balance. You're always you're going to have emphasis in different places, and you try to circle it around. So eventually you're doing good, because if you're gone, you're not with your family.
Right.
And if you're at home, you're not at work. And
right.
But the student, I'm constantly amazed by what our student athletes manage to accomplish: studying, traveling, training, strength conditioning, their weight training, and then they're eating, and sometimes they got to sleep, and it's really remarkable. And I think most of them would say, would say the discipline of that is phenomenal for their long-term abilities in the workplace, whatever they choose to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree from conversations that we've had with collegiate student athletes currently and ones that have gone through the program and now are in different stages. They said that a lot of that discipline and their ability to be successful in the work environment came from that piece, from being a collegiate athlete and being able to juggle and manage. But I think that more than a balance is a harmony. It's finding harmony within all the different stages of life. So that's beautiful that you also help them aid to find that harmony.
Well, yeah. And so certainly I think a lot of I would hope the student athletes would say that the chiropractic care had helped them stay healthy, and
absolutely,
and plenty of them get care when they're injured, and lots of them would get care when they just routinely get care.
Yeah.
And they saw the benefit, and no one's told them they had to get care. They just began to see the benefit, so they took advantage. And we see that at KSU. Wherever I've done chiropractic work with athletes, not everybody comes because they have a problem. They may come just because I know I perform better, I feel better, I'm more relaxed, I sleep better, all those kind of things. So it's very gratifying because they can give you a different feedback, typically than your average patient would.
Yeah,
you know,
of
if
course.
They get off the table and they go onto the court, the field, the pitch, the track, whatever.
The response time, all the things.
And they go, and they either ran faster or they didn't. And they can tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
that's really fun and exciting. I love that. What are the next stages or steps for you within the university?
I'll be here. I'm not retiring anytime soon. So focus in sport health science. And we're doing some curriculum updates that'll come through eventually. So that's going to be some extra work, but just keep plowing ahead in that direction. So,
I love that. And because I haven't had the opportunity of having a person that's been at Life University for so long and seeing the university go through changes, what are three big shifts or changes that has happened in the school that you are the most proud of?
Wow. Certainly the undergrad program, the grad program didn't exist when I was here. You could somehow get an undergrad degree if you didn't have one, but that was a teeny percentage of people that might do that. So seeing that grow and become more vibrant, and like I said, oh my goodness, our Masters in Sport Health Science alumni, the things that they're doing, particularly in the sports chiropractic area, because that's the ones I particularly know about. But they're working with pro teams, and they're working with the Olympics, and they're working with Olympic programs, and they're having great impact in their communities. And it's so wonderful to see. So I'm very delighted to see that we've provided those opportunities. The rigor of the chiropractic program, I mean, I thought we worked really, really hard back all those years ago. But, oh my goodness, they work much harder and much more material that they have to learn and get tested on. We had part 1 and 2 in PT, and now there's 3 and 4 in PT, and it's like, so those are, and the campus is absolutely beautiful, which is not trivial. It's not the big picture, but
it is a huge piece.
You come here and I've had the privilege of being at a lot of the other campuses or the other chiropractic schools. And you know, Life University, it's Atlanta. You know, like I say, okay, where are you thinking of going? It's Atlanta.
I love that. No hard feelings to any other university at all. We're just very passionate about our school.
And we have 4 seasons and the like. So.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for all the years of service to Life University.
You're most welcome.
For all the students that you have mentored and guided and will continue to mentor. They are so honored and to have you as a professor and to have you as a mentor. So thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Hope the rest of the quarter goes amazing. Good luck with finals. I know finals are around the corner.
Yeah, not far off.
And thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Living Life at LifeU. Bye.
Bye.